it is not until coming into the music industry in my 30s that it is like, consider the white point of view. Why?
Mm-hmm.
I have lived a whole life without you. I don't need your point of view. I want you to stop projecting your point of view onto me because you're in my fucking way. But I don't need your understanding. I don't need your validation.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to stop dictating what my narrative will be and
Yeah.
let me speak for myself.
Yaya Bey is an R&B artist from Jamaica, Queens, a musician, poet, and former activist whose path into the music industry ran through Brooklyn community spaces, poetry slams, and the Ferguson movement before she released her first album Quietly to SoundCloud in 2016. Since then, she's built one of the most singular bodies of work in contemporary R&B, arriving into wider recognition with Remember Your North Star in 2022 and followed by Tenfold in 2024, a record full of house and dance tracks that critics, to her deep frustration, kept reading as an album about grief. Her new album, Fidelity, is out now. Alongside it, Yaya has published a Substack essay that functions as a kind of orientation for the record, mapping three deaths: the personal, the communal, and the loss of a certain innocence most of us are only now reckoning with. It's one of the better pieces of writing I've read about what it actually costs to stay alive in the world right now, and I'd argue it's required reading before or after you hear the album. The essay is generous in a way the album is too. It extends the grief outwards, refuses to keep it private, and insists, as Yaya does everywhere, that black joy and black sorrow are not opposites. She writes, and she'll say this in the conversation, when the world is on fire, everybody burns in it. Fidelity is an album that holds that truth without flinching, and somehow still makes you want to move. We recorded this in the spring, just as Egyptian Musk and Blue had come out, and I was already sitting with this feeling that the music was lighter than I expected, warmer, more open, which confused me in the best way possible, given the weight of everything she'd signaled was coming. That tension is something we got into pretty early, the way grief and joy are not a contradiction for her, but a discipline, a practice she's been at for her whole life. We talked about what it means to be a historian of black music, operating inside an industry that still in 2025 sends a 60-year-old white man with a receding hairline to write about your R&B album. We talk about fidelity as devotion, to the practice, to the self, to an imagination of the world that hasn't been given to you, but that you claim anyways. And we talked about what it means to finally feel planted in yourself. Not settled, but planted. What it costs, what it took to get there. Somewhere in the middle of our talk, Yaya says, almost in passing, that she cannot believe in her own demise. That if you're serious about freedom, you have to believe it's coming, even when it feels delusional. Because the alternative is that you're just waiting to be proven right about your own defeat. It's a small line, but Jesus, it hit me. Here's my conversation with Yaya Bey. I've been listening to your music a lot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And like really it was after night school. I don't know if it was like the circumstance, but like I'm not even trying to gas you up, like, but you were incandescent that night. Like it
Oh,
was,
cool.
it felt spiritual that night. Like the just what you had to get off your chest, it felt like I don't want to talk too much about it just because it was private and it was like a space that I felt like you went there because it was private and it was a room that you felt comfortable in. And like sharing those things and sharing the space that you were in, I was just like, oh my God, this is really special that I got to share that and like experience that. And just the way you were talking, everything, I was like, all right, I have to go in. I have to listen to as much as I can. And it's been a beautiful experience for me just to tap into the music more.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now you have a new album coming out.
I do.
How's it feeling?
Good. This is probably the lightest I've felt during a rollout.
It was just yesterday that Egyptian Musk came out, right?
Yeah.
So I've listened to Egyptian Musk, I've listened to Blue, and it feels lighter. Like
Yeah.
the tracks, I mean, I can say that I know that there is a lot behind this, that there's a lot of grief behind this, and that you wrote a Substack essay recently where it's kind of mapping these three deaths, the personal, the communal, and essentially your innocence. And so I was like, oh my God, what are we going to hear? And then Blue came out, and I was like, oh, interesting. And then Egyptian Musk came out, and I was like, oh, interesting.
I don't think that I make heavy music. Like sometimes I might really go there,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm mostly trying to feel good. I think I've given up on people like talking about the music accurately. Like even right now, like some of the write-ups that I'm getting, there's it's still like this is ridiculous. Um, but I'm just not invested in it anymore. Last album, it was like I lost my mind. I was like, oh, I hate all of y'all. Like I was like at my wit's end, but now I'm just like, yeah, like um people are not invested in journalism anymore.
This is true.
And there are not a lot of Black people in positions to advocate for me.
Mm-hmm.
There are not a lot of people who just even share like, you know, my last album, there was a 55, 60-year-old middle-aged white man who looked like he was in a rock band, did a write-up on my album. How dare you? Like, you know what I mean? So now I'm just not invested in that.
Do you have, like, if you had, is there anybody out there that you're like, God, if only they would write about the music?
I mean, there are people who have written about my music who, you know, Clover Hope
Mm-hmm.
or Vrinda or Pooja Patel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are people there, you know. Um, I know I'm missing some people, and forgive me. But I mean, how often do they get the opportunity? Like, I think especially in the part of music that I exist in, I exist in like the indie space.
Yeah.
Indie space is very white. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, music period, like, you know, how many people even have a Black manager?
Mm.
You know, but music is very white. The the positions of power, I mean, and especially indie music, because indie music is supposed to be some intellectual alternative, and white people think they own the cornerstone of intellectualism, and so they the people who would be advocating for me, the people who could relate to me, um, aren't in positions to do that often,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I've been blessed that, you know, there have been some Black and brown women who have advocated for me, some Black men who have advocated for me, but I just don't get those opportunities often because who owns the publication?
Right. It's weird though, because I mean, to me, it's like, on the one hand, I understand why the indie community was responsive and like embraced the music. On the other, I'm like, there's such a deep, like, you're like a historian of Black music. Like,
Mm.
I feel like there's such a sense of, it's, you know where you're coming from, you know what your roots are, you know what you're pulling from, you know, from Frankie Beverly to Billie Holiday to, you know, there's so many different things, from soul to dance to whatever. It's like you can track all these different veins and roots in the music, and it feels available. Like, you don't hide any of that either. Like, you're very matter of fact about like where all this comes from in your heart, and then where it lands, and like You're also just trying to make music that feels good.
Yeah. I came out at a time, well, when people were paying attention to me. That was a time when all the music labels were posting the black squares and, you know, everyone is aware of Black Lives Matter. And I was signed to a British label called Ninja Tune, and they were relaunching Big Data, and they were doing it as basically their DEI project. And I was the face of that.
Oh.
They were relaunching the label as like, this is ran by Black and brown people. And at first I thought, okay, this is cool. Like, I'm going to work with Black and brown people on a label. It wasn't really that, you know? And then I think when that was pushed out, I think it was just like a particular interest in like Black trauma.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not in the business of Black trauma. Like, obviously, I'm a racialized person, I'm a gendered person. Yeah, like I have trauma from being Black, but it's not the center of my life.
Sure.
And because I am Black, like I'm very good at being joyful. Like Black people are very good at being joyful. I mean, it's why the internet is funny. It's why music is good. Like y'all know that. y'all know I'm not sitting around the house twiddling my thumbs. Woe is me. Show is hard to be a Black woman today. You know, like that's not the space that I'm coming from. And I just got a lot of pushback with that. You know, I go to Europe a lot. European voyeurism is a very real thing. I mean, I have had white women have complete and utter meltdowns at my shows.
Yikes.
Like almost every time I go on tour, there is a white woman like absolutely losing her shit.
Like, why? What triggers that?
I'm very vocal at my shows. You know, in 24 I put an album out called Tenfold.
Yeah.
And it came out less than a year from when my dad passed away. And my dad passing away, and my dad was also a musician. My dad passing away sort of overshadowed everything.
Yeah.
And it was an album. It was an album full of dance tracks.
Right.
I mean, and almost everything that people said about the album was like, this is an album about grief and trauma. And I'm like, you just listened to a 4-minute house track called Sir Princess Bad Bitch. And you walked away from that and said, this is an album about grief and trauma, right? And so I play a show in London and I say that on stage, like, my last album was not about trauma. Sure, I made that album while I was overcoming some things, for sure. Like, I don't know that I'll ever get over the fact that my dad died. I mean, my goodness, right? But I got married that year too. I hit a threshold in my career. Like I became like a musician that I can live off of my art. That had never happened before. I'm in my 30s.
Beautiful.
Like, amazing things happened. I played fucking Glastonbury and I traveled the world. Like, so many amazing things happened to me, and you said, nah, you just traumatized. And this white woman, after that show, for hours, just harassed me on the internet. Like, yes, your album is about trauma. It is about trauma. And you called us racist. Not one time did I say y'all were racist. I mean, do I think
They
that a good
are, yeah.
amount of you are racist? Yes, absolutely. But that wasn't the conversation that we were having.
Right.
And I mean, it happens all the time. I was in Copenhagen. I said that I was Black.
That's it.
And the woman was like, we don't see race.
Oh, come on. Come on. Like,
I mean,
what year is it?
I played a show just recently in Amsterdam, I believe it was. Yeah, in Amsterdam. And I was like, we have to start having a conversation about reparations. We have to start having a conversation about the European diaspora. Like, Europeans are the only people that don't have to be accountable for their diaspora. Everyone
Completely.
else is, we're having a conversation, the African diaspora, the Asian diaspora, Latino diaspora. Y'all are not having a conversation about the fact that everywhere you go, that's just it. You go to South Africa, you're fucking South African now. You never came from nowhere else. That's crazy. A white woman again. We don't colonize anymore. What are you talking
Anymore?
about?
What did they? What?
Yes, like, I think that I have cultivated a career where there are a lot of people who are like hate watching me.
Got it.
Um,
I
and
could see that for sure.
yeah, I think I'm polarizing in that way. Um, and yeah, I don't think that people are interested in that, and not everyone, because I think also I've also cultivated a career where there are people who really, really get it, who really, really get it. Like, and I've I've really great conversations with people after shows. Like, um, I just have like this polarizing thing happening, and unfortunately, the people who are hate watching me also run publications, and I don't think that they're interested in the idea of me living a good life.
Damn. That's a heavy thing to carry. Like, to have an audience where it's like, my relationship to you has to be hostile, because otherwise, like, who's protecting you?
I think also that I am super protected, though.
That's good.
I know that there are Black women who engage with my music who do not play about me. I've seen it. And not just Black people who are engaging with my music, but Black people in my real ass life. Like, I have good friends.
I love that.
I have good friends. I have people who love me down. Like, so I'm okay. I think my last album, I did not realize that I was okay. I think I was looking at all. It does not feel natural to have someone you've never met, like, just talking to you out the side of their neck. Like, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
Um,
Your albums are very intimate, and I feel like they probably do listen to that and be like, oh, I know Yaya now. Not saying that they have the right to talk any kind of way, but just saying that, like, you listen to those albums, and, like, even more so than just some overwhelming sense of grief, what I get is like, this is a person living. They're going through the ups, the downs, and everything in between, and, like, that's the feeling. It's like there's good days and there's bad days.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, the last few years have been like an extreme of that. Like, the best, the best of days and the worst of days. Like, I mean, like, really crazy, crazy as, like, oh, how do you even make sense of this? But I just don't want to be reduced to, like, this bad thing happened, so now this is all that you are.
Yeah.
And then like, they racialize, especially them Europeans, they racialize everything that happens. Like, my daddy died. Why does that have to be because I'm Black? Like, why couldn't it just be like, he died?
He died.
Like, people die.
Right.
Like, and everybody's parents are gonna die. And then also, like, I'm gonna die, you're gonna die. Like, even death is a spectacle for Black people. Like, I had a breakup. That breakup, I mean, and sure, like, there are lots of factors that that come into play. Like, race absolutely does play a part in why Black people die prematurely.
Absolutely.
Right? Race and
just systemic racism. Yeah.
Gender, patriarchy, the misogyny. That
Absolutely,
yes,
yeah.
that does play a part in my breakups. Why a romantic relationship doesn't work, right? But like also these are also things that like everyone experiences for one reason or another.
Mm-hmm.
And like, because I guess the racializing it feels like it's juicier for them that way.
It also makes it feel like they're a tourist in their own country.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're like witnessing something that's always the case, but you're like, oh, this specific thing has happened and we need to pay attention to it as if it's a cause. And it's like, no, that's just every day.
It's every day, and I don't want to be gawked at.
Yeah.
I don't think I make music I know I don't make music for people to gawk at me.
Absolutely not.
I'm making music to express myself and also hopefully to have a conversation. Like if you don't know what this feels like, then maybe skip to another song. Like, or just enjoy it quietly and don't like try to make a spectacle of it.
There's a funny correlate because like I teach at a handful of art schools, and like there are times where in crits the reaction to a Black student or to a student of color from a white student will be where I don't have access to this. I don't know. I don't understand. I can't critique this because there's like I don't have any way in, and it's like, I'm sorry. We've witnessed white culture our entire lives. Like it is not something that I necessarily always feel a part of.
Right.
Like we are sociologists and anthropologists of everything that you do. Maybe take a fucking minute of your day to understand something else.
Yeah.
And it's fat. Like you see somebody melt down, not even melt down, but just like they think they actually have some kind of intellectual high ground here to say this is inaccessible. And then it's our job as it's my job as a teacher to be like, what a fucking cop out. Here are all the ways that you have in, and here are all the ways that you might say the wrong thing, and you might feel a little uncomfortable because this is not a part of your daily. But please move into that so we can move on.
Right.
And it can be that easy. It can be that simple of like, oh, you're uncomfortable. Deal with it so that you don't like hurt other people around you. And it feels like that's what you're experiencing in like the press and the ways that all you have to say is somebody died. All you have to say is there was a breakup, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, Yaya, we're so sorry.
And it man, and I mean even now today, we can't talk about anything I do without talking about the fact that my dad died.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 2022.
There's some time now.
And it's like y'all like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, and even in the essay that I wrote this essay.
Yeah, I read it.
And I was hoping that it would change how we talked about the music, right?
Say more, because that's interesting to me, because it is structured around like 3 deaths.
Yeah, but in my mind, I'm like, hey, since y'all want to talk about grief,
okay,
here are the things that I am grieving, right?
Mm-hmm.
These things are not happening. There are things about this that are specifically Black, but there are things that if you're paying attention, you probably should be grieving too. Because in the essay I say, when the world is on fire, everybody burns in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, I also say in the essay, Black people are religiously joyful. And yes, these things are happening. There are things that we all need to be grieving. In the part where I talk about the death of innocence, I talk about how like the world that we thought we were living in is like we're all waking up like, oh,
that's not it.
That's, and so I'm like, why are we hyper focused on me as a grieving Black woman and not like the state of the world,
Right.
and also how I am still thriving and resisting and surviving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like this broken thing. Like, actually, I'm able to think my way through this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting up every day. I'm still deciding to make dance music.
Yeah.
Like, my head is on my shoulders. And I don't think I just don't appreciate the emphasis
Mm-hmm.
on the ways that I may appear bereft.
There's like a totem pole of universalism, or who is granted universalism. So like white men, I think, are the ones that are granted universalism most often, where it's like if they have an idea, even if it's specific to their Germanness or their whateverness, they're speaking for the condition of humanity. And then one step below is like non-white men. You can still do it. Like, you have to position yourself a little bit differently, and you have to make sure that you're speaking more broadly, and you can't have too many signifiers. And then you can tap into that too. And at the bottom of that totem pole, as far as I've seen, are Black women. We're accessing universalism, even though, like, to me, this was the root of identity politics. The root of identity politics is this is a universal struggle, but listen to the people that are suffering here, because they might have the best purview on what's actually happening in the reality that you choose to deny. And like this plea for like a larger story, to take it seriously as a larger story. I hope this time it doesn't fall on dead ears or on deaf ears. Like,
I think the most frustrating thing about all of this is that I'm from Jamaica, Queens.
mm-hmm.
White people are not the center of my world.
Right.
And I resent being put in a position where it even seems like I am pleading for them to understand me.
Yeah.
I just want them to get the fuck out my way. I lived a whole life. Never considering them.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived in Black and brown neighborhoods my entire life. I've gone to Black and brown schools my entire life. When I worked in the shelter system, when I worked in the school system, I worked with Black and brown people.
Mm-hmm.
It is not until coming into the music industry in my 30s that it is like, consider the white point of view. Why?
Mm-hmm.
I have lived a whole life without you. I don't need your point of view. I want you to stop projecting your point of view onto me because you're in my fucking way. But I don't need your understanding. I don't need your validation.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to stop dictating what my narrative will be and let me speak for myself. But you own the publications, and you own the record labels, and you own the PR companies, and et cetera, et cetera. You own a bunch of shit that you really shouldn't own. You know what I mean? That the music industry, I mean, like every fucking thing else is built on theft.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You sign a fucking record contract you give me a loan, I pay back the loan, and then I got to pay you 15 years of fucking interest. That's theft. That's unethical. That's deplorable, actually. And then your buddies that also own the fucking publications, they get to hire a fucking 60-year-old white man with a receding hairline that looks like he listens to fucking Kiss to write about my shit. And I'm supposed to be like, yeah, this is the validation I need. I wouldn't look twice at you if I walked down the street. You, in besides the position of power that you have, undeservingly, why are you writing about R&B? I don't give a fuck about you. Just like you clearly don't give a fuck about me.
Right.
Because and that's okay. But why are two people that don't give a fuck about each other in this unequal power structure? Because I mean, at least I'm honest. If you're white and you're listening to my music, great, by all means.
Sure.
But I didn't make it for you.
Right.
And I don't need you to validate my experience.
Right. It's, you know, it's like when you make something and put it into the world, it goes up into this place where you can only be in charge of it so much. But I appreciated that you took some level of like to sort of shape this narrative a little bit and say, all right, let me publish something. Like, if you all don't know how to write about this, let me write something. And I am really curious, like, after hearing the album, and, you know, if you're going to reckon with the album, you have to read that now. Like, it's a necessary part of this rollout. But to your point about journalism, it's like, are they really reading it? Or are they just being like, well, there's 3 deaths, so it's still grief, and it's still like, this is our grief artist, and we go this way and we talk this way about this, and it's I really hope, like,
I don't think I care.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
Because the last album, I was not well in my mind and my spirit because I internalized a lot of the projections. Even the market pressure, you know, like, they get to dictate what a successful career is, and it's like, man, shut up. You know, like, I went through a lot of shit with my last label, and, you know, what commercial viability is, and the thing is, like, they're insatiable, because even when you make them money, they still have, like, well, this is what success is, or that's what success is. And it's like, man, listen, I'm gonna make my fucking album, and all I need you to do is get the fuck out my way. Get the fuck out of my way. Because all of this is unethical. Like, the structure of a record deal, unethical. There's no ethical record deal, right? The concept of, like, white men get to control all of press, unethical. All of this shit is unethical. And everybody, I mean, and it's not just in the arts, it's not just in music, it is under capitalism, period. We're all forced to navigate these unethical, uneven power structures where people are getting way more from you than you're getting.
Yeah.
And the least you could fucking do is get the fuck out my way. Because I just want to make my music. I just want to make my music. I just want to live my life. God willing, I get to live a long life, and I get to just make my music. And in the process of that, like, learn how to love and accept myself, and undo a lot of the fucking conditioning, because that's happening every album. I'm seeing the ways that my brain is wired in a way that is not beneficial to me and is more beneficial to them. And I'm hard on myself in ways that is beneficial to them and not beneficial to me. And I'm unlearning it. And this is my process, and this is my practice. And this means so much to me. And it's just like, the least you can do, if you're gonna steal from me, if you're gonna exploit me, if you know what I mean, if you're gonna talk about me in ways that don't even make fucking sense, the least you could do is get the fuck out of my way. You know?
Completely. You have a new label, Drink Some Water. How's
Yeah.
that experience so far?
I like the people.
Uh-huh.
I like the people. There are people there that advocate for me. It's a record deal, you know? So you still gotta ask for permission, and
There's still contradictions.
yeah, like I hate that the idea of like I gotta ask for permission. I'm a grown ass woman. You know what I mean? But there are people there that I like. There are people there that advocate for me. One of them is on maternity leave. I want them to come back, but they had to have a baby, and I understand that. But
But you're hopeful about those relationships, to see at least what can happen that might be different from the last one.
I think the best that you can do in this shit is like find some people who will fight for you. But all of this is fucked.
Completely.
The music industry is fucked. Nobody knows what they're doing.
And
You
it's
know?
falling apart.
Yeah, because I mean, it was already corrupt, the labels alone, but now there's an even more corrupt thing with the streaming. And so it's like what the evil monsters fighting against each other. And in the midst of all of that, the best you can do is find some people who will fight for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes people you think that are gonna fight for you are gonna stab you in the back. This is the music industry, you know what I mean? And sometimes some people prove to be loyal all the way through. I've experienced both, you know, and in the midst of all of this, you never stop fighting for you.
Exactly.
Like, but I mean, the music industry is just like this condensed, hyper version of just the society we're living in. Like this capitalism, you know what I mean? It's just like on steroids.
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
it does feel like, I don't know how long it will take for like empire and all of this to fall, but it does, at least in America right now, it does feel like it is crumbling. Maybe it takes 100 years, but like that sense that things are falling apart, it makes me think. I sat in on this class one time, this professor, Agnes Heller. So she's a professor, she passed away. She's a professor of philosophy at the New School, and like, you know, she's a Holocaust survivor, and she trained under some of the big name, like this guy, Georg Lukács, who was like a Marxist and very influenced generations. Anyway, point being, she was talking about 1968 and like how everybody talks about that as like that was a revolutionary time. What happened? And she's like, we're kind of fucked up about like the time of revolution. 68 isn't over. Like we're still in the wake of these revolutions. And there was something to that like helped me distend what I thought. Like they made me think that it was over. Like that, oh, that moment died. They tried it and it died. But in fact, it continues on. And like we're in the midst of all these fights and battles. And like as these things fall apart, I think it's helpful to realize like, oh, these revolutions are all connected. Like that, from that slave revolt to the Haitian Revolution to, you know, every single bit of this is leading up to getting them the fuck out of the way. It's the longer battle, but it's like, I do think it's happening. And I won't stop believing that.
I agree with that, and I believe that. I think that if you want to be free, you have to believe it, even when it feels delusional, because otherwise you just believe in your own demise. you can't
Damn,
be of
well
two
said.
you can't be of two minds. You know, you have to either believe that in the end we will win, and sometimes it might not happen in your lifetime.
Completely, yeah.
You know, everything that you want to see, you will see some of it though. But all of our stories are linked, and I think it it takes a lot of undoing. You know, I mean, as a Black person in this country, like I know there are victories that I won't see in my lifetime because the people that came before me, there were victories that they didn't see in their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you dedicate your life to it anyway. And I think the undoing is also a personal one. Like there's so much undoing that is happening with me on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
That shifts the way I dream, that shifts what I desire, that I have to tussle with, you know, because I'm an American. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that there's a lot of shit that comes, a lot of rewiring of your brain that has to happen, and that takes a lifetime, you know?
Completely.
And God willing, you know, we pass, we a generation that comes after us doesn't have to do the unwiring because we're doing it for them. They can get further along.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I agree absolutely. We will see it.
Are there people along the way that have helped you undo those wirings?
I mean, yeah, of course. Mostly in my interpersonal relationships.
Uh-huh.
You know, like it's cool to like quote the books and you know, like, but I think I see in my dealings with people, in my life, and my comings and goings, like, oh, I think like that,
Mm.
or I that's what I think success is, or that's what I think should happen in this scenario. Or why do I think that? Or why did I judge that person so harshly? Or why am I judging myself so harshly?
Mm-hmm.
I think in life, if you're willing to be uncomfortable, I think discomfort is my biggest teacher.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, all the hard emotions, guilt, shame, disappointment, frustration, envy, in those things I learned. Um,
Is the self-talk changing? Because I notice this about myself. Like, it's only in the last year or two where I'm really trying to change how I talk to myself, because there's so many times where I'm like, you fucking idiot. And like just saying something is like, I never thought about it. I'm like, that's a wild way to talk to yourself. Like, why would that be your internal voice?
my last album, I was miserable, and it was because I I let the industry and convince me that these people could take something from me.
Mm.
Like, you can't take anything from me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I might get dropped from a label, or I might get this or that, whatever. Like, there might be some workplace
Discomforts.
repercussions. But man, fuck y'all. Like, this is a tradition, and I think even decolonizing my mind and how I participate in the tradition of R&B. Like, this is a centuries tradition
Mm-hmm.
that I was gonna do with or without y'all.
Right.
Y'all can't take this shit from me. Y'all might discontinue a check or whatever. But I also come from robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, I know how to survive.
Mm-hmm.
I would be all right. You know what I mean? And they promise you the idea of being special, which
Mm-hmm.
is a thing that happens in capitalism, having value at the expense of something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why the fuck would I desire that?
Yeah, it is really. I notice it as people get older, because it's like they're trying to convince themselves and therefore you that this is what has to happen. Like, that's just the way things are. And it's like, don't we want better than this? Isn't this a low bar? Like, we call this civilization?
I mean, and I'm a fucking artist. Like, it's my job to have imagination.
Completely, yeah.
So, like, you can tell me that this is the reality, the only option, all you fucking want. But, like, I literally get paid to imagine realities.
Right.
So
Right.
I can just imagine another fucking reality. You actually can't fucking stop me. Like, you can't. Like, cool. Like, this album, like, I made this shit with no budget because, like, the last album, like, that was the album for this cycle, and
Mm-hmm.
all the budget went to that, and it was like, it's too soon to make an album.
Oh,
Like, you can't
interesting.
make another album. I'm like, yes, the fuck I can. You know what I mean? I would just make an album,
Right.
and like, my friends will help me if I need visual. Like, I can figure this out. And like, now I know for sure, I have proof that I can just figure this the fuck out, actually.
The visuals for Egyptian Mosque look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My friend shot that shit on a high 8. I edited it in iMovie. Like,
That's great.
like, you
That's
know what I'm saying?
great.
Like, actually, I'm gonna be okay. You know, they make you feel like you need these big budgets, or you need this or that, or the blah, 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 or like you need them. Like, no, none of y'all make music. I think y'all need us,
Right.
you know?
With, I mean, the first album that came to mind, like, just when you said that, it's like, Steve Lacy recording everything from his iPhone directly in, and, it's arguably a classic of his. Are there people that, like, do you have peers in the field? Like, considering, like, all the things that you talk about and the way that you talk about the industry, like, No Name is the first person that comes to mind of someone who's militant about what she wants to see politically and economically, and then also is just making fucking great music.
I've never met No Name.
Wow, that's like a real surprise, actually.
Yeah, I've never met No Name. But obviously, I have a great respect for what she's doing. And Telephone is like one of the best albums of the 2020s.
Unbelievably good.
Or it wasn't even the 2020s, it was fucking 2010s. But like, yeah, I mean, No Name is phenomenal, but I've never met her before.
Oh man, I hope.
I think it'll happen.
I feel like it has to.
Yeah, I think it'll happen.
But are there? Yeah, I guess so. Outside of that, are there peers? Are there people that, like, you fuck with their music, they fuck with yours, and, like, through that you're able to kind of have each other's back?
I think there are like people who are younger than me now, that I'm just now meeting, that I'm like really rooting for. Like, Kelly Moonstone is cool, and her last album was really great. Dean Spencer, who's been around for a really long time, but is younger than me and is friends with my engineer, who's like my little brother. And then I do have some people that I've come up with. I really have come up with poets more than musicians. So
Oh, cool.
that's like, but there's like Taliba Safia, VCR. Those are like my homegirls. But I really come up with like poets.
Oh, wow.
And like I came up in like activist spaces and like I was like going to Ferguson and shit and like doing poetry slams and like I like had like this whole other life, you know. And then I just popped up and I was kind of like in my own kind of corner when like releasing music. Just like my first album was in 2016. I just kind of threw it on SoundCloud. And then in the pandemic, I was like releasing music, but it wasn't necessarily like the time to like be rubbing elbows with people. We were like locked in the house, you know?
So it really is like 2022 that like shit starts getting bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. Now 4 years later, it's a different moment.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I don't know, like I'm not the only person that has said this, but from COVID times, it felt like a rupture in the timeline of like what we thought, what was expected and all that. And it does feel like this year is the one where it's like, is there some kind of continuity or is there something that's happening that's like making me feel like I'm no longer on this broken timeline. It's like, all right, now there's purpose. Like I know what is happening and I know what needs to get done. And I feel like I've heard that from a couple of people. And I'm wondering if like you've been going through a lot of different things just in terms of like how you're reckoning with the industry as well as how you're reckoning with yourself. But even like these two first tracks, it's a really warm welcome into a space that you've prepared us that we're going to be talking about griefs and what that means for you, but what that means for everybody. But there's such a warmth there that it feels like, I don't know, does this feel like a different rollout for you?
This is probably my favorite rollout.
Yeah.
I feel planted in myself.
I was going to say groundedness. So
yeah,
I love that.
I feel okay with whatever happens. I think it took some time to adjust to my new workspace. You know, like I'm in the industry. This is my job. It doesn't feel like a fluke anymore. I think for a long time, I was like, I can't make a living off of music. I can't like be a full-time working artist. Like that's not realistic for me. Like I was trying to do it, but there was always a like, is it really gonna happen? And like now it's like, oh no, like this is your life, girl.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, so it's like I'm accepting that, and and I feel planted. I just feel like, yeah, okay, so let's go. This is what I'm doing, and I also feel like I can take a break too. I want to sit down.
Are you gonna take a break? Like after when when can you actually take a break? Because you got this whole like the album drops April 17th.
I feel like I can take a month or two.
Okay.
To like, you know, I could take a month or two.
And is touring in the future?
Probably in the fall.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna tour in the summer. I mean, I have a festival to play in Costa Rica in June.
That sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, I think it'll be nice. There's a few of my homegirls and like people I know, like Geminelle is playing and Kelly Moonstone, Kia, people I haven't met before but I'm excited about. Mariba, I've never met her, but I like her music.
Oh, cool.
So
I love Kia too.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. You know, I think like, yeah, there's like a lot of cool people. This other musician, Ariel J, I think you know, like sometimes you read people's names but you haven't heard them out loud, so you don't know if you're saying them right. But sorry, I think I'm saying your name right. But I think
confusions are.
It's like there's like performances I'm like excited to see, and it's low pressure. I play my quick little set, get out, you know, nice weather. But besides that, I don't think I'm gonna really be that busy this summer, and I want it that way. Like, just breathe for a second. Yeah, you know, because I'm probably gonna go back in the studio and like make another album, but I want to take this. I just want to, you know.
Do albums come about from the outside looking in? You know, like your albums come from you deeply probing your lived experience and like thinking about what you're feeling and processing it and understanding it to yourself, and then like finding a way to share that. That's a hard thing, you know. Like there's painters that just like go to the studio. They go to the studio every day. And I guess this is musicians too. Like they just go to the studio and that's like a daily practice. Like if you have an idea, you don't have an idea, you go to the studio. But I need some time for like the rock to roll down the mountain a little bit and like pick up some shit. And then I kind of like work with that. Like you've been so consistent in your output recently. Like it's just album. How do you bracket that? Are there brackets? Is it continuous?
I think it's continuous.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm like journaling
Uh-huh.
more than like, I don't think I need to have like profound understandings of things as much as I'm just like, these are my emotions. You know, like
I think you're being too
emotional.
humble though. Cause like if you just journal and you put that into something, it doesn't always come out great. Like
I'm a super emotional person,
mm-hmm.
super passionate. Like I feel all my things on level 10. Like so I'm reflecting a lot, I'm feeling a lot. And I've lived a lot. Like, my God. I really like I have lived lives, so many lives that honestly I could just write about the things I've been through and never lived anything else and I'd still have shit to say.
Goddamn.
I've lived a lot. And now I'm the life I'm living now is so different. The contrast in the life I'm living now and the life I was living then is so different that I have so much to pull from, and so much that I'm processing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just a lot. Like I remember in the pandemic, I had went through this crazy breakup. It was really crazy, and then afterwards, I like finally got over it, and I was really broke. And I was like working for this weed delivery service, and all my pandemic money ran out. Really, just my unemployment had run out, and I was like, okay, I'm just delivering weed, and I am working on this album, right? And then I got, Remember Your North Star came out, and it was well received. I got a publishing deal.
Yeah.
I was gonna go to Europe to play some shows and work on this play. That's a whole nother story. But it was like, okay, I'm financially stable, right?
Okay.
I can pay my bills. I was like months behind on my rent for a long time. I was just struggling. Like, yeah, everything is great now. And my roommate at the time, and I was about to move out, and my roommate at the time gave me a reading. She was one of them tarot card girls.
Oh shit.
And she's like, yeah, I see a rough time coming for you, but
Oh fuck.
and I'm like, a rough time, girl. I just got a big ass check and I paid off my debt. I don't owe nobody shit. I'm about to go to London, Paris, go play some shows. What could possibly go to London and Paris? I come back and my dad died like the week after I came back.
God.
I was like, this bitch was right. This is fucked up. And so like that was happening, but then also like I was playing festivals and like go on vacation. I ain't never been on no fucking vacation before. Well, no, I did use that pandemic money to go to Puerto Rico.
Oh.
But okay, I'm going on a vacation and I'm coming home and my rent is paid vacation.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
different kind of vacation.
It is I mean,
You know,
that's a
like,
vacation you need.
you know, I'm living my life. I seen a lot of shit. I ate shit I ain't never ate before. I'm lit. Like there's so much shit. The world is on fire. You know, there's a lot of shit you process when a parent dies. A lot of shit you gotta forgive them for. Shit you gotta forgive yourself for. You know, like I've been to fucking Helsinki. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've been on the road, vocal cord injuries. You know, like I'm married, navigating a marriage is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we're about to be year 3.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Year 2 was hard. You know, we worked together. Like, I'm having more fun than I've ever had before. I'm crying a lot. I always got shit to write about. I'm also just like very emotional. I'm emotional, you know, so it's like I always got shit to write about. So I'm just like reflecting and making music.
That's beautiful. That was like, it was such a journey. The punctuations of all these like specific things, and Helsinki of all places.
I've been to fucking Helsinki. Like, I just be going places, playing shows and shit. I went to Brazil. I went to fucking Australia. I seen jellyfish on the beach. I ain't never seen that shit before. Just be living my life, you know? Like, and I be hella grateful, and I don't have to confront a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I thought I was gonna have a music career, I was gonna work with all these brands and do all this shit. And it's like, oh, well, you know, these people in bed with the devil, so you can't get in bed with them.
Oh my God,
So you
100%.
can't,
Yeah.
that dream, like my dream is always changing.
Yeah.
And
That's a fucked up thing to reckon with, though. Like when you really see, like, oh, actually, my ethics matter, and that means my course is going to be different than what I
I done
thought.
had to say no to some checks. I done had to say no to some checks. And it'd be sometimes, you know, like musicians, like, I guess we all know this, like there's times when the money is coming in and it's nice. And then you get the little dry patches. I done had to say no to some checks and some dry patches. Like shit, that would have been. And my bills is big. You know, I gotta pay a band. I gotta pay agents. I gotta pay, you know, like, and I'm a working class musician. You know, like I'm not a rich person. You know, I'm stable, but my bills are so big that like, even when you make a lot of money,
There's
it's
a lot of
kind of,
overhead.
I liken it to like owning a restaurant.
Oh, interesting.
Like people might look at you like, oh, you own a restaurant, so you must be wealthy. But it's like, actually,
Margins
fucking
are fucking razor thin.
the napkins alone. You know, so it's kind of like that. It's like, you know, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. You know, but I make a lot of money. And then when you see where all the money goes, and then that is like, it's tempting to like, oh, well, let me take this or take that. But then you can't, because it's like, these people are evil. You can't do that, or you can't do this, or actually you think you want that. And sometimes that creates panic, you know, like when you realize like how much money it takes to own a restaurant, you know, it's like, damn, well, how am I gonna keep this shit going? But I think that also goes back to what we were talking about before, where you have to have faith. You can't believe in your own demise. And that's hard. And there's a lot of mental gymnastics with that shit, which is another reason why it's like the breaks are tempting. Like, okay, let me take 2 months. Everybody leave me alone. I tell Zach that all the time. Like, when this album is over, I need 2 months and nobody contacted me. Like, and then also all the decisions you have to make, you know, the pressure is fucking crazy. Like, And the bills, boy, god damn. It'd be like, I owe what? I gotta give these motherfuckers how much?
It's like, I think sometimes it's hard for people to imagine the growing pains of like what it means to start a kind of small business around what you do. And like, especially as you kind of keep going up this whatever ladder, the costs go up, and everybody thinks that like, oh no, you're made in the sun. I saw you here. This is a big person. They do all these things, and it's like, no, everything goes up. The precarity is still there. It takes a while. I mean, speaking to restaurants, I remember talking to a friend of mine who has his hand in like a restaurant or two, and we were at a restaurant. I was like, God damn, they are cleaning up. He's like, what do you talk? What do you mean? They're doing okay. He's like, the only way you make money in a restaurant is if you have franchises, or like once you have like 6 or 7 or 8 restaurants, then you're making money, and like you can relax a little bit. And I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Yo, I mean, sometimes I come home from tour and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I mean, but you know, like you gotta pay the band.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure they have like good accommodations. You gotta take care of people, you know, and taking care of people ain't cheap.
No.
So, you know, there's that, and flights, like, you know, if we going to fucking 7 countries and I'm flying out 6 people,
That's
you
no
know what I'm
joke.
saying? And I gotta house them, and I gotta pay 6 people, you know what I'm saying? And then the venues, they fucking you over because you gotta pay for backline. How the fuck I'm going to your venue. You don't got everything I need in this motherfucker for me to play the show, but I gotta pay for the shit that you don't got. You gonna make money off my black ass today. You know what I'm saying? I gotta come here, shuck a jive, sing these goddamn songs. You don't got the goddamn drum kit, amps, and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I gotta pay for the drum kit for the night. Why the fuck you don't got backline? And then don't talk about Europe. Cause Europe, like, the way that they paying people in Europe is fucking crazy. Like, and for me, I don't know. Like, I just be like, don't y'all owe me reparations or some shit anyway? Like, I should be taxing you motherfuckers. You taxing me. I gotta pay taxes to France, and then I gotta come to America and pay taxes to America.
That is nuts. I didn't even
Man,
think about the taxes, actually.
the taxes are crazy, yo. They want you to get a Taja one and all this other shit. I don't know. I don't even know that I would go back to Europe until it's like festivals, like headline shows. Fuck no. Like, this shit ain't worth it. Like, come here and sing these songs. I'm leaving. Sometimes you leave and you in debt. Like, you like the
That's no
headline
good.
shows over there. Man, fuck all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I stay my black ass in America. Like, headline shows here pay way more.
Okay.
Way more. Like,
This is good intel. I don't know who needs to hear it, but that's I'm glad we're hearing
everybody,
that.
before they have you out there selling you a goddamn dream, they ain't giving you shit but beans on toast. And you don't want that shit neither.
What does the word fidelity mean to you right now?
Well, I've been playing with the idea of devotion. Fidelity has a better ring to it than devotion. It just sounds like this sounds better. But I mean devotion. I think that's what it takes. Like, I think that's what I'm here to do. Just be devoted. I'm like, even in the like why I make so many albums, right? Like, that's the big thing all the time. Like, I mean, it was a big thing on my last label. This label, thank God for Alex. She's like, all right, girl, just go ahead. Like,
This is the one on maternity leave?
yeah,
All
that's
right.
my girl. Like, it's like, why are you making all these fucking albums, right? But
Such a weird question to me.
it's my practice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have like a formal music education. My dad was a rapper, producer with no formal music education. I just come from motherfuckers just tinkering around till you figure it out. That's all I'm doing. I'm just tinkering around. Like, I'm figuring out what kind of singer I want to be, what kind of writer I want to be. I'm allowing myself curiosity to the day that I die. Like, I'm not going to outgrow that. I'm not going to age out of that. I'm allowing myself to explore myself. And I like self-exploration through music. Like, that's the vehicle. And I'm just fucking tinkering away. Like, I don't want to stop. I'm trying to be like, you've seen my man Laraji.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be fucking 80. Like,
Yeah.
just tinkering away. Like,
He just played at a group show that I was in, and I was just like, man, he's nonstop.
yeah, like, I fucking tinkering away till I die. Like, when I can't do it no more, only God could stop me. I mean, God don't seem like, like God trying to stop me. So shit,
I don't think so.
I
I don't
think
think he's
I'm all
trying to stop
right.
you.
I'm just trying to give myself permission, I think I lived a lot of my life waiting for other people to give me permission. And I think I lived a lot of my life with a perception of myself that was other people's.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it, And it's uncomfortable. Ooh, it's uncomfortable. I go through a lot of very harsh hits to my ego all the time. Like, I mean, immense blows to the ego. And I survive it, and then I learn how to be kinder to myself. I think I'm enjoying my own company as a result of it a lot better because I'm nicer to myself,
Yeah, it's big. It's big. I think all of those things, like, I'm very appreciative of the exploration that we get to experience in the music and the stories you tell and the ways you tell them. And just, it feels like someone who we get to know and who's getting to know themselves. And it's like, it's reassuring that something very human and very beautiful is happening that way. So it's been an honor to talk to you.
Oh, thanks for having me. This was cool.
Yeah.
It started. I didn't even know we were starting. I was like, oh, I think this is happening. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
cool.
No, it meant a lot. And like, I'll never forget that night in night school, and I won't forget this one either. Spent is a New Crits podcast, hosted by Ajay Kurian and edited by Peter Groppi. Thanks to Need to Know Studios, our brilliant guests and listeners, Mary Akpa, Elvira Horvai, Tara Douglas, and Jasmine Amani. Follow us at New Crits on Apple Podcasts, Substack, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest updates on Spent. And thank you for spending time with us.